to health.
Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
These have been tough times, and we could all use a helping hand to get through this period. GUT Credit Union gives you the opportunity to do just that without a worry. What are you looking forward to? A relaxing staycation? Brand new appliances or devices? Consolidating your debt to get more money in your pocket? Not a member? No worries. Come in and find out how you too can make the most of this offer. Or visit us today. Yes, you can have a brighter Christmas season with GUT Credit Union. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is the GBN television news for today, Friday, January 22nd, 2021. I'm Beverly. Telesford. In the headlines, vendors and employees say it was blue bubbles, but the company management maintains their innocence. Executive members of the National Health Insurance say they are preparing to take the next step towards implementation. Stakeholders and interest groups consulted on the pros and cons of marijuana on Friday as Grenada considers decriminalizing the drug. GCNA/GCA chief strategist on government's proposed merger encourages farmers to stand their ground. In around the globe, U.S. President Joe Biden announces full-scale wartime strategy to beat COVID-19, while in sports, Bangladesh take a 2-0 lead following their 7-wicket win over West Indies in Dhaka Friday morning. We'll have the details after this message.
Hi, I'm Francis Urias Peters. I'm a good listener, and K105 has always been a great source of education and entertainment. Now, while the station name may have changed over the years, it has always provided valuable information which enabled me as a playwright to document and to celebrate our history, our behavior, and our achievements. K105 is my choice. It's the national station.
Good evening to our viewers and listeners on K105. This is GBN News at 7. A case of misinformation and being at the right place at the wrong time as Blue Bubble's PA Rental and Event Supplies is maintaining its innocence during the recent tent uncovering of vendors at their location at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium car park. The company sought to clear the air on Friday after being maligned on Monday for the removal of tents over vendors at the market. Gerard Joseph has the latest update.
Leon Francis of Blue Bubble's PA Rental and Event Supplies is categorically denying any involvement in the removal of tents and exposing the vendors' produce and goods to the elements on Monday. Although not pointing any fingers, Francis says they are not the only provider of tents at the vendors' market, while admitting that company workers were on the scene.
Yes, we were there, but we were there as our contract would have ended last Friday. Yeah? So Monday, our tents should have been moved, but we was not the one that moved the tents over the vendors, and that needs to be clear.
Infrastructure Minister Nolan Cox had explained on Tuesday that due to the heavy cost of the service, Ministry of Agriculture could not continue with the contract, which was taken up by the Ministry of Infrastructure. He accused the tent supplier that removed them from the vendors as seeking to embarrass the government. Francis notes that Blue Bubbles was in fact removing tents in relation to the new contract with the Ministry of Infrastructure. However, he says the location of the 4 tents they removed is key to the company's innocence.
The seaside of the area is where Blue Bubbles was working on, and there was no one under that tent. No one absolutely under that tent. So yes, Blue Bubbles was there, but we were there to pick up the end of our contract and begin our new contract with government.
Quizzed on the exorbitant sum Minister Cox mentioned is paid for the service, Francis had this response.
Blue Bubbles have a very good understanding with the government of Grenada and the ministries, all the various departments of the ministries. We have been doing great work with the ministries. Some work may be $1, some work may be more. You cannot charge for a work that worth $1, you should not charge $5.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Executive members of the National Health Insurance assures Grenadians that while the organization is not at the forefront of public discussions, work is being done to ensure this entity is fully implemented. Rena Pear tells us more in this report.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Francis Martin, stated that COVID-19 has placed some things on hold as it relates to the National Health Insurance. But this is no longer the case, as recent discussions are paving the way forward as to the next step for NHI.
NHI and the National Health Insurance is still a very pertinent and current matter being discussed at the ministry level. COVID-19 brought a halt to a lot of the operations and activities that were supposed to have happened during the time. But behind the scenes, the work on very important aspects of NHI was continuing. Work related to the financing model and work relating to the legislation that should drive NHI. A lot of work went into that, and we are now at the point where we're considering making final decisions on them.
While the doctor cannot put a time or date on when the office of NHI will be reopened, he stated that the organization is working virtually. He spoke of what should be expected in the coming months.
On the advice of the NHI committee, we are on the cusp of making 2 major decisions. One has to do with finalizing the legislation that should drive NHI. And the second one is to finalize on what kind of financing mechanism is going to be used. But even if that is not forthcoming, I am working with the IT part of things to make sure that, first of all, our website is back up and running, and consideration being given to linking electronic medical records. So those are current things that are happening as we speak.
Dr. Martin says they are now trying to put their house back on track to ensure that rolling out the organization will be easy. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Now, the discussion surrounding decriminalization or legalization of cannabis took center stage at the Grenada Trade Center on Friday. The first roundtable discussion saw the Rastafarian community, religious leaders, Minister for Agriculture Peter David, civil society, among others, sifting through a report published by the CARICOM Secretariat on the legalization of cannabis. The Conference of Churches Grenada and the Interagency Group Development Organization hosted a roundtable discussion on the decriminalization of cannabis in Grenada. Rena Pear tells us more.
The dialogue was held among various stakeholders, highlighting the CARICOM Commission on Marijuana Report 2018 to educate all involved on the proposed legalization and decriminalization of cannabis in Grenada. The Grenada Conference of Churches and the Interagency Group Development spearheaded the discussions held at the Grenada Trade Center Annex on Friday. Representing Interagency Group is Sandra Ferguson.
So that the information on the findings and recommendations of the report could be disseminated. We have also had perspectives from various professionals, right? And we have arranged that in 3 panels on health, economic, and the decriminalization, legalization, human rights aspects, right? So that these persons, chosen in their individual capacity, they do not represent anybody but themselves, but for their competence and expertise to also discuss the findings.
Coming to the forefront of the discussion is the possible health and social effects on youth and children, law and human rights, and economic impact. Representing the Rastafarian community is Prince Nanan and Michael Batiste from the Nyabingi tribe.
For many years, the Rasta has been going through a lot of persecution, and we've been suffering. And this reasoning this morning is an open eye, and I hope it continues. So marijuana is a business for Grenada also. To get the people out of that poverty, we could have better roads, better schools, and people will have better paychecks if marijuana is well marketed.
I feel so happy that this morning more than one person spoke on that issue, because that issue, as I said, has troubled me for a very long time, whereas they say, you know, if you smoke marijuana, you're going mad, and marijuana is no good. And there is so much important things about this one crop and so many products we can make from it.
Representing the Conference of Churches is Bishop Clyde Harvey, Deputy Chair of the Conference of Churches, and Reverend Silbert Prescott, Head of the Methodist Community.
Presentations have been magnificent. Professor Antoine was really very much on point. But then she was not afraid to say that there are some issues in the report which we all need to be careful about. Like, we can say that the report recommends legalization, decriminalization, but she also says that we have to be careful about our young people, and then we have to be careful about the fact that if you agree to certain things with regard to marijuana that is growing in small amounts and so on, you have to be very careful that you do not create a situation in which the small farmer has no place and it all becomes another opportunity of big business running the small man out of a living.
My view is that what we are trying to do as Conference of Churches is trying to bring the matter into a wider, national, in a wider national framework where individuals, everyone can get engaged in the discussion, because I think it is something that affects the entire nation, and I think this provides an opportunity for the nation to share and to engage on the subject of decriminalization of marijuana and become more informed.
Presenters at the forum were Minister for Agriculture, Peter David, and the chairperson of the CARICOM Commission on Marijuana, Professor Rosemary Antoine. For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
Meanwhile, various interest groups lend their voices to the debate about the proposed decriminalization or legalization of cannabis. Dr. Stephen Fletcher was one of the participants who believed this signals a significant start to what he deemed the agricultural mix in Grenada.
The Rasta community is well represented. I'm very pleased with to see the turnout from the Rastafarian community. But we must also add, like cocoa and nutmeg, this issue is of national economic importance. It is not a sectarian issue. It is a societal issue. And I will want to encourage the wider community to engage in those discussions as they probably go forward in the communities and so.
Farmers are being called on to stand their ground as they await the resumption of discussions on the proposed merger between the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association and the Grenada Cocoa Association. The proposed merger between both entities is now at a standstill. However, according to Chief Strategist Dr. Stephen Fletcher, recommendations have been submitted to government for consideration and talks should resume soon. More in this report.
Following rounds of discussions and consultations between the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association and the Grenada Cocoa Association and government, many were not in support of the merger. During the annual general meeting of the GCNA, nutmeg farmers openly passed a resolution saying no to the merger. This saw the representation on the merger board withdrawn from further discussions. During a roundtable discussion back in September 2020 on government's proposed merger between both entities, the view then was that the approach taken by government was not seeking farmers' interests. GBN engaged Dr. Stephen Fletcher, Chief Strategist at Campeche International Consultations on Friday, where he explained the present position on the matter.
We are expecting to, in the next 2 weeks, by mid-February, we are going to go back to the communities that we engaged in this process and to report back to them our findings and our recommendations. We, in fact, ended up with over, I think, about 12 recommendations that we have since submitted to the government and to other organizations electronically and so on. But we must now go back to the farmers whom we have spoken to leading up to the roundtable in September 24th and re-engage them to let them know what we have found out, what we have gathered.
He indicated that within weeks, they will resume talks as newly appointed Minister for Agriculture, Peter David, is showing sensitivity to the matter.
One of the things that happened is that I have since submitted an official report to the Minister of Agriculture on the roundtable, to which he has shown a very positive attitude, if I may say, to this. So he has hit the reset button, I'm happy to say, and that the discussions are now taking place between the Ministry of Agriculture, the Nutmeg Association, and the Cocoa Association, which I believe is good, what should have happened initially. And that certainly, I'm expecting it to lead to much more fruitful results in the interest of the farmers and the broader Grenadian community, as we have always argued.
Dr. Fletcher, however, pleaded with farmers to stand their ground.
The farmers must remain vigilant. They must be prepared to ensure that their interests are protected, and they must be prepared to defend it if necessary, because this is about the very economic and social survival of the nutmeg and cocoa farmers. So whereas at this point the current minister is showing some amount of sensitivity to the issue and is in dialogue, as I understand it, with the various associations involved, the farmers must remain vigilant and ensure that the interest is constantly protected.
Selena John, GBN News.
This is News at 7. Coming up, Leo Garbett, MBE, appointed president of the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association. Stay with us.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear, because one thing is certain: you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Paying is faster and easier with Glow FastPay. Use your MasterCard or Visa and pay from anywhere. Log on to discoverflow.co/fastpay and press consumer. Select your country and enter your account number. Enter the amount to be paid and an email address. Enter your credit card information. You'll receive a payment confirmation with the transaction details, along with a receipt to your email address. It's fast, safe, and easy. Glow, keeping you connected.
New year! More games and more money! Sunday, January 31st
from 6 p.m.
Get set for another massive online bingo!
And
This time you can win $10,000 US. 10,000 big ones. Tickets are $10 US. In Grenada, get your tickets at gotofed.com or box offices island-wide. If you're overseas, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Tell your friends and family about all the fun and excitement online. And the best part is, you can play from the comfort of your own home. So what are you waiting for? Play Wacky Virtual Bingo! The new way to play bingo.
Bruv. Hello? I can't see you. What's good? But I can't even hear you. Yo. Hello? Hello? Ah. Okay, I see you. I'm good. I'm coming in. Ah. There you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high-quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicell's super fast LTE network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicell.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'd be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible. I can pack my sack. I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
How going on, boy? Hey, good, old things. Hey, easy. Yeah. Boy, in line, boy, your house looking a real good day. Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service. Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy. Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. Artists have been using the COVID-19 period to work on perfecting their crafts and building their portfolios. Tonight in GBN Entertainment, we hear from one young soul temporary artist how he kicked off 2021 with a bang.
My name is Jonathan Francis. I'm a singer and songwriter. I'm a theater enthusiast. You know, you may have seen me on stages like Grenada Music Festival, Carols by Candlelight, plays that come from Uriah Peters' platform here.
You may have seen 21-year-old Jonathan Francis on local festival stages, concerts or plays. The young artist is now delving deeper into his talents and focusing on his music with a new music video release, Till the Morning Time.
When you're looking at my eyes, I get that warm feeling. I
feel it in my bones. You got a beautiful heart. You look so appealing from your head to your toes. When you smile at me, I feel so assured. Yes, girl, I would hold you in my arms and never let go.
Before releasing the song and video, Francis posted teaser photos which created quite a stir on social media. He explained that strategy and how it tied into the meaning behind the song.
We wanted to spark up a bit of a buzz just to get people tuned in to the video on my page and prepped for the video release without actually saying that we were releasing a video. So we had to put out pictures which showed stuff with me and my female counterpart, Sheena the Gale, getting engaged and getting married, because we wanted to create an atmosphere that was realistic. So when people view the video, they'd be in a state of confusion as to if it's true, if it's false, and just to be the best example of young love and Caribbean love, and that's what we sought out to do. So the song lyrics generally is just about a relationship that is budding, that is filled with love, and it elevates to different levels of just being together and unity and a union, which is marriage.
The young artist said the COVID-19 pandemic gave him ample time to focus on his craft.
I think that the pandemic was a really good time to just get artists like myself to refocus in terms of not just going out there and gigging, but also making sure that we have our own original music, and we can create a portfolio that can set us aside from just the day-to-day gigging, which is total artistry, writing your own music. And I think that time was definitely cooking time, I would say, for me. So I appreciate that time.
Human beings should not be made to exist under conditions like this, so says leader of the National Democratic Congress, Adrian Pursuta Thomas. He was speaking in relation to the sewer issue in the Westerhall area. Details in this report.
The people of Simone Bolivar Village, or Lackalome St. David, continue to exist under unsanitary conditions, a problem that spans a decade. Lately, it has become unbearable as human waste began making an unwelcome appearance in the homes of some individuals, as well as spillovers in the street. Residents say numerous calls and complaints to the Ministry of Health, NAWASA, Housing Authority, and the Ministry of Housing yielded no solution. They turned to the media, but still no resolve. Minister for Health Nicholas Steele, during a recent interview, says he will make this his priority, but did not give a set date.
Very much so. I know that you had reported and others had reported of an issue with water. That's what I'm referring to. That's why I'm saying Housing Authority, Ministry of Housing, and NAWASA. They're the ones that have to remedy that situation. And I did promise to keep drawing it to their attention and to make sure. All I'm saying is that over December, particularly in the last half of December, it was not my priority one. Apologies for that, but you would understand that it was not my priority one. Now that we have started the year with a certain amount of calm, relative calm, with respect to the other national emergencies, yes, I can give it personal attention.
Leader of the National Democratic Congress, Adrian Thomas, visited the community on Saturday and explained his encounter.
I've seen areas, especially by the septic tank, lower down in the system, where you can barely see the septic tank because the raw sewage is being observed on the surface, and it means that this is overfilled. I also visited the people from both ends, right on the top, where the hill is very steep, and I think the system moved from a gravitational point of view, and the manholes on the top of the project is basically pumping and bubbling, and it appears that there is some serious blockage there that need to be addressed.
He had some recommendations, which include the engagement of qualified persons in the field.
No, I think it's appropriate for the Ministry of Health. I want to make the following recommendations, and I think it's appropriate for the Ministry of Health to really come forward and show some concern. This matter has to be dealt with urgently. I think the project is still under the Ministry of Housing, and that ministry, which is the line ministry, need to pay some attention also to the situation there. I have people in Grenada who have professional training in that matter, and I think if they are engaged, I know of Grenadians who go up the islands and do this sort of work, and it's because of the professional skills that they are doing that. So if we have the people in Grenada, then the Ministry of Health and Housing need to come forward and do and take on the responsibility. We cannot have people living under these conditions in this day and age.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
In other news, one man was arrested, charged and bailed, while another in police custody, assisting with investigations following two operations conducted by the drug squad, one in Grenada and the other in Carriacou. We get more in this report.
33-year-old Miller Garway, a fisherman of Subi St. Andrew, was granted bail in the amount of $15,000 with two sureties after police arrested and charged him for the offense of trafficking a controlled drug. According to a police release, Garway made his first court appearance on Friday at the Grenville Magistrate Court. As part of his bail conditions, he was ordered to report to Grenville Police Station twice weekly and surrender all his travel documents. He will appear in court on January 29, 2021. According to police, officer of the drug squad unit executed a search warrant at the premises of Garway, where one fine bag containing packages with plant-like material resembling cannabis was dug up at the said premises. The packages weighed 12 pounds and carried an estimated street value of $27,216. Meanwhile, one man is in police custody assisting with their investigations following an operation conducted by officers assigned to the Special Op Team and the Carriacou Police Station. Police said during a search in the bushes at Belvedere, Carriacou, 3 nylon bags containing plant-like material resembling cannabis were found in the stool of a tree. The contents were weighed and totaled 63 pounds, and its estimated street value is $143,096. GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience. Monday marked exactly 1 week since the disappearance of 84-year-old Madeline Ray. Family, friends, and well-wishers are still combing areas in Carriacou in search of the Mount Royal resident. Superintendent Aoife Pear, in charge of the RGPF in Carriacou District, told GBN that his team, along with community members, were still in search of Miss Ray on Monday.
All our efforts, all our search efforts have so far proved futile. We continue to search. Up to yesterday, the search continued, and it should be continuing during this week. It's not a matter of ending the search. What would happen is that a search might be scaled down, but it's not stopped. We'll always react to information, and based on information that we may get, we will respond. But in this case, we will continue searching for Ms. Ray.
People took to a post on the GBN's Facebook page expressing concerns and words of hope. This person said, "I can't fathom this. Where can she be?" Another said, "This is beyond sad. Lord, protect this woman and keep her from suffering. Keep her loved ones calm in this time, and I hope this situation has an ending of comfort and peace for all involved." This person commented, "Isn't it strange that someone can disappear on such a tiny island?" Another said, "Please check in familiar areas. Hopefully she is okay." Another individual added, "Hope she is safely reunited soon with her loved ones, sending love and light to her loved one." That's it for tonight's Social Buzz. As always, if you would like to have your thoughts and concerns shared, be sure to comment on GBN's Facebook page. From the thought process to the visual impact, it's time to take a peek through the GBN ISOL lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISOL is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. Rechanging the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People people and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Tonight, our ISO reporter is showing off the fruits of his post-retirement labor. He sent us photographs of potatoes he grew, adding, and I quote, "It's something to do while I'm at home, retired now, so this is my pastime chronicles," end quote. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
We take a break, but still ahead, NULO receives a $200,000 donation. This is News at 7. Stay with us.
What are you looking for? Top quality copy paper, linen paper, bond paper maybe, or lunch bags, maybe a gift set, or maybe you're just not sure. Then visit us today, K&R Bookstore. We are so much more than your regular bookstore. Visit us at the corner of Scotch and Young Street, or give us a call, 420-5307 or 321-3500. K&R Bookstore. Convenience, quality, excellent prices.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Your hard work, talent, and creativity, plus Flow, equals more ways to chase your dreams. Flow is connecting all of Grenada, from Point Salines to Hillsborough, with the most reliable connection on the island. So now everyone can work, study, and keep moving forward together. Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
Welcome back. Leo Gabbert, MBE, has been appointed as the new president of the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association. With over 30 years of experience in Grenada's tourism industry and having undertaken previous leadership roles within the GHTA and Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, Leo is picking up this role at a particularly challenging time for the tourism sector. In a news release issued on Friday, the new president and the GHTA board and committees promised to work diligently and respectfully to heal the industry wounded by the COVID-19 pandemic. Leo and his family own and operate the Calabash Luxury Boutique Hotel. Leo takes over the presidency from Jerry Rappaport, who served as president for the period 2018 to 2020. Over $200,000 was donated to NULO this week as a financial push to continue its drive to educate and certify young people in skill set programs that will gain them employment. We get more in this report from Rina Pe.
The Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program SIAP has donated over $261,000 to the New Life organization. The donation of the funds will assist the institution to continue its ongoing skills training, nutrition and entrepreneurship training, assessment and certification in various programs. Both organizations have been working together since September 2019 with the core element of youth development, especially in rural areas, so that young people can gain and generate jobs. Monitoring and Evaluation Officer at SIAP, Kellyanne Cyrus Williams, says NULO has risen against the challenges despite the pandemic.
NULO has shown exemplary performance in providing quality training services. Despite the challenges arising from COVID-19, they have demonstrated resilience adapted, and persevered to continue provision of outstanding services to its students. SIEP commends NULO for the dedication thus far and expresses gratitude for their partnership with the government of Grenada to improve the lives of its young people. So today, we are here to deliver this check in the amount of $261,708.30 to NULO as they continue their.
With over 100 youth presently attending NULO, Executive Director of NULO, Sister Margaret Yamoha, says the financial incentive is one that is timely as COVID-19 have left the organization in some financial debt.
And as we are speaking now, we have some arrears, so it really is coming in very handy to take care of some of the arrears to be able to continue with the training. Those you see here today in the computer engineering, some of them have already taken their first exam. That all comes with a cost. And so this money really comes in at the right time for us to be able to continue working. I would just like to say a big thank you to the staff who have worked on this project since 2019. Their commitment, their unwavering support for youth empowerment has kept this program going even in a difficult time like this COVID-19 pandemic.
For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
Stay with us. The weather and sports are next.
Hey man. Well, man, that's you make that trip. Why doing all this more? Things tight since COVID, you know. And Christmas coming, the toys to build, my house and my car to repair, the wife wants to look with on. What you want me to do? I'm expected to do all that with more. Well, what you want me to do? Why don't go down my communal? You don't have to pay them until January. They have 20,000 in giving away, and the interest rate low. And listen to me, I try them orders and them never look good. Who they want them on? Well, watch, like you have more than your ears. Choose your loan at communal, giving you the money for what you want to do. It's a loan for you. You know what? I'll get them a little try. Listen. Where you going on this mode? Don't need it. Leave the mud, man. When you go down there, the rate's low. Low.
Do you know what time it is? You guessed right, it's detox time again. At Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product Detox Combo Pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 449-7753, or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight mainly fair and hazy with the chance of few brief light showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 24.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves up to 6 feet in open water. Tides would be high at 11 p.m. and low at 6 a.m. Weather for Saturday, January 23rd, mainly fair and hazy with light to brief showers during partly cloudy spells, increasing overnight. Weather for Sunday, January 24th, partly cloudy and hazy with occasional light to moderate showers becoming more frequent overnight. And weather for Monday, January 25th, partly cloudy and windy with light to moderate showers during cloudy spells. Good evening, sporting fans. Bangladesh took an unassailable 2-0 lead following their 7-wicket win over West Indies in Dhaka this morning. In what was another embarrassing display of batting, the West Indies, who won the toss and opted to bat, were bowled out for 148 in 43.4 overs. The visitors lost their first 5 wickets for 41 runs midway the 18th over and only managed to cross the 100-run mark thanks to a 32-run 9th wicket stand between Rovman Powell and Alzari Joseph, who took the score from 88 for 8 to 120 for 9. Powell, who also put on 28 for the last wicket with Akil Hussain, who made 12, fought hard for his top score of 41 from 66 balls before being the last man out. The Japanese government has denied reports it is considering cancelling the Tokyo Olympics. The British newspaper, The Times, says the Japanese government has privately concluded the games will need to be called off because of the coronavirus pandemic. Al Jazeera's Victoria Gattenby reports.
The Olympic Games were scheduled to be held last year but were delayed because of the coronavirus pandemic. Now a rise in infections has forced the government to impose a state of emergency in Tokyo and other parts of the country, and that's raised questions about whether the Summer Games will be held in 6 months as planned. Newspaper reports that Japan's government has privately concluded the Games will have to be rescheduled have been denied by the Prime Minister.
Regarding the Tokyo Games, it will be a symbol of humanity overcoming the novel coronavirus and the chance to showcase Japan's reconstruction from the devastating northeastern earthquake and tsunami to the world. We will be well prepared on the measures for the infection.
Japan has spent $25 billion preparing for the Tokyo Olympics, most of which is public money. But a recent poll shows 80% of Japanese people don't want the Games to go ahead this summer.
Even if Japan was able to curb the coronavirus, I don't think we can welcome athletes considering the current situation. It should be cancelled. The money we spend on the Games should be used for antivirus measures instead.
80% I want the Olympics to go ahead, but the other 20%, I wonder what would happen to Japan if it was cancelled. We're already going through a lot.
An Olympics has been cancelled only 5 times before, all in wartime. A final decision on whether to hold the Games this year or not is expected in early spring.
I think the date to watch is March 25th. That's when the torch relay begins from northern Japan. 4 months, 10,000 runners crossing the country, arriving in July 23rd in Tokyo. It would seem absurd to start the torch relay and then have no Olympics.
The International Olympic Committee makes 75% of its income from selling broadcast rights of the Olympics. If Tokyo is cancelled, it could lose an estimated $2 to $3 billion of revenue. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
And now for the probe around the globe, U.S. President Joe Biden has announced a full-scale wartime strategy to beat COVID-19. He has signed a string of executive orders aimed at speeding up the response to the pandemic, which has claimed the lives of more than 400,000 Americans. Al Jazeera's Mike Hanna reports from Washington.
This executive order I'm signing.
Day 2 of the Biden presidency and another flurry of executive orders.
24 hours after the U.S. recorded the worst single-day coronavirus death toll, these are focused on combating the pandemic. The measures ranging from getting more vaccines to more people to improving safety in schools and workspaces.
We didn't get into this mess overnight. It's going to take months for us to turn things around. But let me be equally clear. We will get through this. We will defeat this pandemic. And to a nation waiting for action, let me be the clearest on this point. Help is on the way.
One of the new things in this administration is if you don't know the answer, don't guess. Just say you don't know the answer. Yeah.
A familiar face returning to the White House briefing podium. Sidelined for many months, Dr. Anthony Fauci is a central figure in the new pandemic task group, and he made clear reference to the difficulties he experienced as a scientist under President Trump.
There were things that were said, be it regarding things like hydroxychloroquine and other things like that, that really was uncomfortable because they were not based on scientific fact. I can tell you, I take no pleasure at all in being in a situation of contradicting the president. The idea that you can get up here and talk about what you know, what the evidence, what the science is, and no, that's it. Let the science speak. It is somewhat of a liberating feeling.
There's been shock at how little planning had been put into combating the pandemic. There has been no centralized federal strategy. It's been left to governors and their states to plan and sometimes fund anti-pandemic measures. Administration officials say that when they asked their predecessors for a pandemic plan, there wasn't one. Many members of Congress are dismayed.
What did we learn this morning? We learned this morning that the Trump administration had no real plan for the production and distribution of the vaccine. Just another in a series of their terrible, ineffective approach to it from the start.
And Americans are reeling from a startling statistic. The country has 4% of the world's population, but 25% of recorded coronavirus cases. Before assuming office, Joe Biden stood at the reflecting pool in memory of the 400,000 Americans who have died. His message now that there sadly will be many more before the pandemic is brought under control. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Further afield, the southern African nation of Malawi has seen far fewer COVID-19 infections compared to other countries, but there are concerns migrants are causing the disease to spread. Tens of thousands of Malawians work in South Africa, where a new variant of the disease has been identified. So now Malawi has put tougher restrictions in place. More in this Al Jazeera report.
Malawi has recorded more than 13,000 coronavirus infections since the first case was identified there 9 months ago. While the number may be far lower than many other countries, more than half of all cases have been detected this month alone, prompting the government to tighten restrictions.
Markets must close no later than 5 p.m. and all merchants and customers must wear a mask at all times. All buildings used by the public, whether for business or private service, must be disinfected no less than once a week and must be fitted with hand-washing facilities at the entrance and exits.
A nighttime curfew has been imposed and schools have been closed. Malawi has recorded more than 300 deaths related to COVID-19. With a third of those recorded this month alone, there are concerns that already limited health facilities may be overwhelmed. And now a new, more contagious variant of the virus found in South Africa is adding to worries that returning migrant workers may contribute to the spread in Malawi. Patience Mbewe is one of tens of thousands of Malawians who work in South Africa because of the poor economy at home. But she returned to Blantyre after COVID-19 restrictions in South Africa made it difficult to find work.
There's a lot of challenges coming back here, coming to Malawi, because of you need to get tested first before you leave South Africa, and you need to have COVID test, negative test for 14 days.
The government has spent the equivalent of $8 million to fight the virus. Some of that money has been used to quarantine, screen, monitor and transport almost 20,000 Malawians returning to the country. Some of those returning were quarantined in a prison building, which was later looted and vandalized when the release of some people was delayed.
When we arrived here, they tested us and promised to give us results the next morning by 9 o'clock. We patiently waited for our results after 9 o'clock, and looking at how tired we were and the unexplained delays, people, with some ringleaders, started vandalizing this.
The death of 2 government ministers and 2 senior political figures from COVID-19 led the government to declare a state of emergency. Famida Miller, Al Jazeera.
Stay with us now for a recap of the headlines. Recapping the headlines, vendors and employees say it was blue bubbles, but the company management maintains their innocence. Executive members of the National Health Insurance say they are preparing to take the next step towards implementation. Stakeholders and interest groups consulted on the pros and cons of marijuana on Friday as Grenada considers decriminalizing the drug. GCNA-GCA chief strategist on government's proposed merger encourages farmers to stand their ground. And around the globe, U.S. President Joe Biden announces a full-scale wartime strategy to beat COVID-19. While in sports, Bangladesh take 2-0 lead following their 7-wicket win over West Indies in Dhaka Friday morning. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it would be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Beverly Telesford. That's the news. Good night.